It's 1st of January 2023, and we start the video with the sad news that Celtic legend Frank McGarvey passed away, and Celtic obviously put out a video this morning. It's sad to see Frank passed away with cancer. Cancer is a terrible thing that affects so many people, and it took Frank at an early age of just 66. He was last seen at Celtic Park, obviously back in October, with his family, and he was in the centre of the park. And we all seen then how unwell Frank was, and it's with a sad loss to his family and friends and the bigger Celtic community that knew Frank. Frank scored over 109 goals for Celtic in 200 appearances. With that being said, our thoughts are with the family. Moving on to the Celtic FC news on the One Celtic Fans View channel. So this morning we're looking at the fact that Ange Postecoglou says there is no urgency to move back into the transfer market ahead. Well, the January window is open. It opened at midnight last night, and there's been no moves yet for any Celtic player. Chris Sutton sends out an ominous warning about VAR for tomorrow's game, saying that it could become a farce and a shambles, and we all know that. We all know what's expecting. We as Celtic fans know what we're expecting, and we have to beat them. Never mind just the players on the pitch, we have to beat them tomorrow also. You know, we all know what VAR's going to do. We all know what they're going to do. And then we'll look at the comments section. Which is always the shits and giggles on the channel. So, Happy New Year to everyone. We spoke about Frank. It's devastating when we've seen the pictures of him when he was at Parkhead a few months back in October, and he sadly passed away. He is one of the Celtic legends of the 80s. If you are old enough to remember Frank as a player, he was a fantastic player. He really was, and he scored many good goals for Celtic. And just to die at the age of 66 is really young. It's what age is my father, so I can totally understand how upsetting that could be for the family. We shall move on. We'll move on to the Celtic manager Ange Postecoglou's statement, where he said there's no urgency to move back into the transfer market. Celtic have made 3 signings already, and defenders Alistair Johnson came in. Yoko Kobayashi could also be in the squad for tomorrow's game against the current Buns. He says the manager went on to say that he's been really pleased with the boys that he's brought in, but the transfer window has just opened. They're obviously aware. Now, this is what you need to read into the comments that Celtic manager Postecoglou said. He says, "We are aware there might be departures as well." So take for that from what you want. It could be a case that they are expecting a bid to come in for Josip Juranovic. They obviously know that he's had such a good World Cup. They did get in Alistair Johnson as a direct replacement, but who will play tomorrow? I think Juranovic will play purely for the fact he's got more experience in the game, but you never know with Ange. He might just make a few surprises tomorrow, since it's a nice away game and we only have 700 fans, and the Rangers manager has been spitting his dummy out, saying that he worked in Brazil, of all places. He worked in Brazil, and away fans didn't moan about having a small allocation. Come on, we all know that you spat the dummy out. Rangers spat the dummy out because Celtic were winning that much and we were partying that much. They couldn't handle 8,000 of us partying at the Broomlawn end for months and years on end. We partied on their ground. We owned their ground. Their fans were leaving. They were some of the best games. I remember the one where Lee Griffiths was with us in the stand up behind the goals, and at the end of the game he's up with the tricolour waving that about. It was absolutely mayhem. Another one when the Green Brigade lit off a green, white and orange flare right before the game, and it was really still. There was no wind, and when the flares just went up, it was just loved it. Loved those games, loved the atmosphere. Hated the ground, and I hate them with a vengeance, but tomorrow will take care of itself. Well, Anthony Ralston is still missing, so Juranovic will probably come in for that game tomorrow. Chris Sutton has said about VAR. Chris Sutton sends out a Celtic Rangers VAR farce warning as he worries that it could turn into a shambles. They are going to claim they're going to contend everything to try and slow the game down. You know what they're going to do right from the start? They're going to come out and they're going to try and hit us hard right at the start, and then they're going to try and break the play every little minute that they get. They're going to fall over, they're going to go down, in the box like nobody's business tomorrow. You wait and see it. They're going to shout for VAR all day long to make sure that they get the good old penalty Rangers. Anyway, Robbie Wilson actually said that VAR was a shambles a couple of weeks ago. You know, Chris Sutton has said Ibrox should be a magnificent occasion. He just worried that what's going to happen with the game will it descend into farce with Beaton and Column in the VAR bunker. The funny handshake brigade. You all know what's going to go on there. You're guaranteed they're going to get a penalty. Guaranteed they're going to get a penalty. We're going to have to win 3. We're going to have to put 3 past them tomorrow to make sure that we win. And I'm way sure that we can do that. We're going to score at least 3 tomorrow. Mark my words on that. So on that note, let's jump over to the comment section and see what you've been saying in the comment section. The last comment, the last video was obviously the done deal, but Manchester United want JJ video. It was out a couple of days ago. And the first comment we'll look at is Mark Yule. It's not Mark Yule actually, it's Cut Rock. He says, Happy New Year from down under, roll on Monday, cheers Mark. And then we have Mark Yule getting a bit excited there, my man. I'll be raging if JJ goes for under 25 million, especially when the Huns got 20 million for Calvin Bassey. And yes, let's get Celtic Park back to a fortress. That was me talking about the Champions League games and the fact that we need to get Celtic Park back to a complete fortress, and away teams fearing coming to Celtic Park again. Christopher says, we never had a manager like Ange. I don't mean any disrespect to any of our previous managers, but he is just different. The relationship he has built with the board, the fans, is special. I always approach, what are you saying that word for? Nobody mentions that anymore. Anyway, that's enough of your comment. You'll get comment deducted for that, even just putting those 2 words together in on this channel. Anyway, we never sell our club. Beale was forced to play a defensive game against Celtic because he fears the damage Celtic can do on the break. If they decide to attack, I think they are going to go out for an attack in the first 5-10 minutes. They're going to try and score an early goal, and we'll just see what happens then. Soccer Profit 6495 says, time for a clean-up as soon as possible. Ida Gucci, Albergad, McCarthy, Welsh out. Get some coin in for JJ and key for Guacamakis. And O'Reilly, he says. Well, there's one for you. I don't think O'Reilly will leave this window. I think there might be an offer, but I don't think Celtic will sell him this window. Guacamakis, I think he might go. Juranovic might go because of the pure for the fact amount of money that we're going to get from him. But I still think that the manager wants to hold on to the core of the team until we win the league. So thanks for your comment, Soccer Profit. Kevin Dunn says, well done to our B team, behind twice and still won 5-2. And Bayern, and keep your hands off of Rocco, he's staying at Celtic. Yeah, that was the news that also broke that Bayern Munich are looking at Rocco Vata. I think Rocco Vata will make the bench tomorrow also. I think he could be our little secret attack weapon to come on with 10 minutes to go. Happy holidays, Addison. And yes, Addison will be back tomorrow, so look out for Addison as she comes back with our special report. Maybe before the game. Yeah, it will be before the game actually. So she'll be out with a special report tomorrow morning. And then Kyle says, all the hype around about the current buns, I can't understand it. I take the press want us to lose. Of course the press want us to lose. It's a Hun-biased platform, the Scottish media, and you see that even more when you don't stay in the country, sadly. Stephen Walker says, if Man United make a decent bid for the player and he wants to go, let him. No point in keeping 3 parties waiting. Not good for the player and definitely not good for Celtic. And then one last comment is Aussie Boy says, Rangers talk about the buts and maybes and more concentrating of the now, like Ange has installed in us now. So tell me what your thoughts are on the game tomorrow. What do you think the score will be? Did you have a great new year? Have a great new year. It is 2023. How mad is that? Celtic like the number 3. We like trebles.